Jaba? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll start?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. Good afternoon to all. Dear participants, let us begin the third day of a 3-day national online faculty development program on DIGITECH for constructive teaching by thanking God for His abundant blessings. I welcome you all for happy learning. Welcome once again. Over to Jeba.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon to one and all. Good afternoon to one and all. I welcome the resource persons of the 3-day online faculty development program on DIGITECH for constructive teaching, Ms. Jayapriya, Dr. Faustina, and Ms. Charulata, on behalf of the management, principal, and staff of Stella Matutina College of Education. I extend our greetings to the participants who are actively involved in learning technology for teaching for the final day's session. To begin with, I kindly invite Father John Lewis, PhD scholar in education of Stella Matutina College of Education, to lead us in prayer. Over to you, Father.
Good afternoon, dear friends. I hope all are happy and glad. That's what our God also wants it. And I now request you all to clap your hands when I sing a small song, because God wills to be glad always in learning, in teaching, in whatever that we do. Shall we all join together? If you feel that you are happy, clap your hands. You can clap your hands. If you feel that you are happy, clap your hands. If you feel that you are happy and know that you are happy, clap your hands. Let us begin together. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Psalm number 118, verse 24. Almighty and ever-living God, as we are in the quarantine period, you have given this day and this minute to come together to learn joyfully through this 3-day national online faculty development program. Let this online coming together may enrich us and equip us in digital teaching for constructive teaching. May your supreme power and guidance may be showered upon all of us, so that we may joyfully learn, joyfully understand, and joyfully construct our teaching colleges. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Father, for your fervent prayer. Constructivism is a philosophy which strongly supports the fact of constructing knowledge from the environment. We are indeed thankful for the strong academic and resourceful environment from the Department of Computer Science, Stella Maris College, Chennai, consisting of Ms. Jayapriya, Dr. Faustina, and Ms. Charulata. We are very happy with the learning experiences offered by you all through this platform for the past 2 days. We are ready to learn more from your team, ma'am. Over to Ms. Jayapriya and her team.
Thank you, ma'am. So good afternoon once again from our team.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Father, for a wonderful prayer. It was really nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So as there was some connectivity problem yesterday, we just thought it will be helpful for the participants to have a short recap of what happened yesterday. How do we record the Google Meet and all those things? A very brief recap. So Charlotte will start the session with a very quick recap on Google Meet. Yeah, over to Charlotte.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Good afternoon, one and all. Let me share my screen, and it's going to be a very quick recap of our steps involved. Yeah. So hope everybody is able to see my screen and I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. So you all would have understood clearly how to create or schedule a meeting through Google. After creating in Google Meet, we need to parallelly create another schedule in YouTube as well. You can do it before the day, or maybe the day when you are creating your Google Meet link, that time also you can schedule a YouTube. And this encoding part. So here there are 3 things involved. One is you should create a Google Meet, and then you should create a YouTube event, and then you have to use the encoder to connect the Google Meet and the YouTube. Hope I am clear with this. And now just a quick recap. First, you have to go to youtube.com. From the top right, you will have this go live option. And as I've already explained to you yesterday, it will take 24 hours to enable your account. So before that, you cannot go to stream lively. So you should, first in case, you should have enabled that. After that, you can do it any number of times instantly. So 24 hours before that, you should have enabled it. And if you're trying out in your mobile, you need at least 1,000 subscribers. So do not try it out in mobile unless and otherwise you have 1,000 subscribers for your particular channel. Okay. And once you click on go live, it will take you to, after enabling, you have to enter, click on go live, and it will take you to the live studio. There you will have a panel which will have the options manage, and that in that page you will have a small events link which is at the bottom end of the right side in your display. Click on that and create a new event. The creating the new event is the simplest process, where you have to give a proper title, a description, and the date and time. And then after creating the event, it will take you to the next page where you can add your thumbnail image, and you have to use single use stream key. This is the stream name from which you have to copy from that particular list. That alone, you will have other backup name and backup URL server or main server name. All those things will be available, but it is sufficient if you copy only the stream name within that set, and that is the one which you have to paste in your encoder. There are a lot of encoders available. You can go with OBS, which is very simple to be used. And then you have to go to there will be two other options on top. One is go to watch page. This, if you click, it will take you to the original YouTube, how others will be seeing. On top, you will have the address bar where that URL can be copied, and that you can send it as a link. Otherwise, from the channel, if you take, it will be a very longer one. So you can go this way also, not from the channel, but directly to the watch page and copy the URL. And this link, if you send, it will be very short. Basic one which we use for any YouTube videos. And then the next thing you have to do is, once you have initiated these two things, the next one is using the encoder. Here we have used OBS encoder. The basic two things is you have to add a scene. By default, there is a scene available there, and you have to add a source. And in the source, there will be a plus button in the bottom. On clicking of that, you can add a source to that. The source, it will have a list of image or a particular window or any other video. Any link can be added to that, or a text to be added. But here we are going for window capture. And in window capture, before you click on window capture, ensure that you open the Google Meet window, then go for window capture. Then the window capturing will happen without any error. Otherwise, which was the last window open, that is the one will get reflected in the window capture. And then you have to go for the controls, because we have copied the stream key from the YouTube, but we haven't pasted it yet. So in the settings, there will be option called stream. Click on that, and there is a space for stream key where you have to paste this. After pasting this, you can apply. And there is also, if you are going with recording, then you have to go with checking the output, where setting the path where your recorded video has to be saved. So that, and also there you can increase the video bitrate there to avoid the delay. And once you have set the Google Meet, and once you have scheduled in YouTube and copied the stream key in the OBS encoder, on that particular day, your work is, once your Google Meet is open the OBS encoder and click on start streaming. Only then the streamed video will be available in your Google Live Studio. In the Google Live Studio, you have to open and you have to give go live. Only on giving go live, it will be relayed. Otherwise, it will not be relayed. It will be shown as a preview in your live studio, whatever is being streamed. So till you give go live. And there are, as I have already explained, there are two things that you have to keep in mind. Chat will be available only for the videos which are prepared, which are live events, which are not for kids. If it is for kids, if you had checked that it is for kids, then the live chat will not be available. So the comment section will not be visible. And as for recording to take into the same procedure. Suppose you are not going for a YouTube live, but you are a personal Gmail user, personal Gmail ID user, but you want to have a recording of your meeting. In that case, the option available is you can open your Google Meet and the OBS encoder, and the same process of adding a source and scene, and use window capture. And in the control settings below the, in control settings, you have to go with choosing the destination, which I have explained already in the previous slide. So you have to choose the destination where you want the recorded video to be saved. And then in the controls, you will have start recording, which will be available below the start streaming. So only that, you will not stream it at all because you're not going to go for live, rather you will have the recording. Once you stop recording, the recorded video will be saved in the location which you have chosen. So this is just a quick recap. I hope it was clear. Any doubts in this? Any doubts?
Ma'am, continue, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Charlata.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So now let me invite Dr. Fastina to take over the session. Over to Fastina.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Right. Good afternoon, everybody. And in this session, I'm going to introduce you to a tool which will improve student engagement in an online classroom. Hope you remember when we were doing a brainstorming session during our first day, a few of you gave an opinion that the interaction between the students and the teacher in an online classroom will be reduced because it is not going to be the same way in which it will be in a physical classroom. So you will not be able to get an immediate feedback when we are handling online classrooms, correct? Because if you take a physical classroom, I'm handling some concept, I'm taking a lecture. So if I'm having an eye-to-eye contact with my students, so I know when the class is getting inattentive, I can understand if the students are feeling bored. So what I will do is I can stop my lecture. I will then ask few questions to the students. And then after that, based on the responses that I get from the class, I know that, okay, the students are with me in the class, they are able to understand. Or I will just ask a very simple question. How many of you have understood this concept? So most probably the whole class will say, yes, ma'am, we have understood. So they are not going to be very honest about the opinion, but I will be able to get an immediate feedback from the students in a physical classroom. But in an online classroom, this part is going to be very challenging because we know the communication is going to be different. It is not the same. It is not going to be in the same way as in a physical classroom. Okay, fine. So before I get into this, so I'm going to introduce you to a tool for that. Before I get into this, can we do an activity now? A very small activity before I start off this topic. So I'm going to present my screen. Okay, hope my screen is visible. My screen is visible, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Okay, fine. So we'll do a small activity now. So I want you to take your phones if you're, I want another device. If you're seeing in your laptop, you can take your phones or you can open a new tab in your browser that you're just seeing. Just type www.menti.com. I want all the participants to participate in this. So open your browser, type www.menti.com. It would be better if you have another device so that you can see what is happening in my screen also. Okay, so phone would be a good option if you're having a laptop. It'll ask for a code. So in that place, type the code that you see right in front of you. So just type in that code. And once you submit, you will also see the question that is up there on my screen. You can choose and you can vote for the option that are coming over there. So just select an option and you can submit it. you can see the results are also coming real time on my screen. As you vote, you can find the real time results appearing on my screen. Only 11, 12 participants have responded.
Fasna, we are not able to see your screen.
The screen is not visible, ma'am.
Yeah, your PPT is visible.
Yes, ma'am. The PPT is only visible, right, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah.
So as and when people are voting, you can find out the number is getting increased. So you can find out under the excellent, that bar, you can find the number is getting increased because we are getting that many votes. And down to the right hand side corner, you can find out how many participants have voted. So it says 25. And the results are also there coming up live. I'll wait for a minute more and I'll continue. Okay, fine. So I've got at least 30 responses now. Fine, let me close the voting for now. I'll continue with my session. Okay, I'm getting more responses now. Okay, fine. So I'll close the voting for now. So I've closed the voting. Let me move on. Okay, so from this, what are we able to understand? Had I asked the same question and I'm telling you to just type your opinion in the chat, I'm very sure not even 34 of them would have answered. But now I've got at least 34 responses. I'm sure maybe at least 10 people would have told an opinion like it was good, it was very interesting and all that. Okay. So now in no time, I was able to get an opinion from the audience who are participating in this particular FTP. So I'm able to come to a consensus of how exactly the audience is feeling being part of this particular program. So this same thing can be applied in my online classrooms as well. So the same way in how we can get a feedback and immediate feedback from the students when we are handling a physical class, the same way we will be able to get an immediate feedback using this particular tool, which I'm going to introduce. And the name of the tool is Mentimeter. Few of you would have known about Mentimeter, but anyways, I'm just going to show you how this can be done. Okay. So Mentimeter is an interactive presentation tool. So it says presentation tool. So it is something like your Microsoft PowerPoint, wherein in PowerPoint, you cannot add interactivity like the one we saw right now. Okay. So that live interaction, a voting kind of a thing is not there in PowerPoint, but it is available in this particular tool. So it is an interactive presentation tool. You can prepare slides like how you will do in your PowerPoint, but you can also additionally add such questions and invite real-time inputs from the audience. So this is one of the major features of using Mentimeter. So you can engage your class in this way. So the things that you can do as part of the questioning is the previous example that I was showing was a poll. So I was trying to get an opinion from all of you of how you feel about the FDP. So it is a poll question. So I can also ask a conceptual question. I can also ask questions based on what I've been taking in the lecture. So I can post questions like that as well. So the type of questions can vary, but I will be able to get real-time information from the slide. So from what you just saw. Okay. So why do we need Mentimeter? I think the advantage is very clear. You would have seen right now, it is real time. So as and when the class is going on, I can just post a question like that, and I can get a real-time response, which will be very helpful, and it helps students to open up. As I said, if I had asked the questions for you to type, if I had asked you to type the response in the chat box, I'm sure not many would have done it. Okay, but since I gave such a tool, and it is totally anonymous because I'm not going to know who gave excellent or who gave a bad comment, so I'm not going to know about it. I'm just going to come to an overall, I will just get the overall feel of what is happening in the audience side. Okay. So it will help the students to open up. They can be really frank about using it. And then a very great tool for the teachers, because they would want to know if things are going well in the online classroom. So to have a check, they can use this particular tool. It will help them to understand the pulse of the class. And finally, it is fun, because we know that when we are doing an online class, it is going to be very monotonous. We have to accept it, because we'll put slide over slide and we'll be talking on and on. And we really don't know if the students are listening to whatever we are telling. So they will also need some breaks and also some time that we can give them to grasp chunk after chunk. So we can use this to give those breaks and also to receive feedback. So it becomes a win-win situation for both the students and the teachers. Okay. So these are the reasons why we can go for Mentimeter. So we know how it works. We just did. So there's going to be someone called a presenter. So in this case, I was the presenter. I was showing you the question. So the question appeared for you with the options. So to do all these preparations, I will have to go to www.mentimeter.com. So when you're going to apply this in your online classrooms, so you will become the presenter there. So you will go to mentimeter.com to prepare all these things. And just like how you did now, you went to menti.com, you gave in the code, and you were able to give your votes. So this is how the audience will give their inputs to the particular question that is being shown. And the third one is just displaying the results on the presenter's screen. So just like how you were able to see the results on my screen, I am the presenter here. So the same way, it will also be available from your screen, which you will be presenting to your students. So it is very, very simple. So the main job here is on the first point, because as a presenter, we have to prepare the question. We have to give the options. We have to change the settings accordingly so that we can give the question to the audience. So let us see how we can do that as a presenter. So to do that, we have to go to mentimeter.com. So I'm going to show you a live demo of it. We'll just see how it goes. Okay, so you have to open your browser. So my browser is up here. Hope you're able to see. So I've typed mentimeter.com in my address bar. So this is the page that I will get. Okay, so there is a page up over here. And here you have login and sign up. Anyways, I'll just give a rough brief through of it. If I give a sign up, you can sign up with Facebook. If you have a Google account, you can do it directly, or also through your email you can do. So it will ask for your email address, your password, your name. Once I give sign up, it will ask for what purpose do you want Mentimeter for. So it will ask if you want it for a business meeting or if you want for education. So it will show a list. From there, you can choose education and you can give sign up. So the sign up is very, very easy. I have an account for myself, so I'm just directly logging in. So my email address, my credentials are already there. I'm pressing login. So once I log in, this is how my page will look like inside my login. I'm not going to get into each and every detail because it may be, it may come with practice. So I'm just going to tell you as simple as possible how to really come up with that particular interactive presentation. So this is the page that you can find. Here you have options to create a presentation, and also you have a new folder option. New folder is for just like how you will create a folder in your computers to organize your files. It is for the same reason you have folder concept here. So now I have to create a new presentation. So let me do that. So I click on this particular option which says new presentation. I'm clicking on it and it is asking me for a presentation name. So I'm just giving a name for it. Okay, I'm just giving a name. So you have option, there says an option, create presentation. I'm clicking on it. So this is where I will edit or I'll create my presentations. So this particular UI that you see is very similar to your PowerPoint presentation, right? To the left hand side, you can see the slides that are there. Then in the center part, you see the space where you can arrange your things in your slide. And to the right, you can see different options that are coming. Okay, so it is just like how you would do your PowerPoint presentation. Okay, it is quite simple. It is just having this particular interactivity factor additionally added. Okay, so for that you have a lot of options. I will tell you about a couple of things. Okay, so I have a new slide because this is a presentation and this presentation has one slide for now. Okay, the same concept as how you will look in a PowerPoint. So I have this particular slide up there. And to the right, you can find it asks to choose the slide type. So you can find a different, there are many options up here. So they are grouped into different types. The first one is the popular question type. Then you also have a quiz competition. You can have quizzes created in Mentimeter. And you can also find content slides. So these are the slides which appear just like the way in which you see in your PowerPoint. So these are PowerPoint kind of slides, okay? So you can directly create your presentation also in Mentimeter, and also you have some advanced questions. So they are grouped like this. This first type, I'm going to concentrate on the first type, the popular question types. So the difference between the popular question type and quiz competition is that in popular question type, the questions and the responses will be given back to the presenter itself. So the example that we just did was of this multiple choice, okay? So wherein the presenter was able to see the result, wherein in the quiz competition, the presenter will initiate a quiz, the audience can participate among each other. So it will be like a competition between the participants themselves. So this is the difference between these two types, because you shouldn't be confused why there is a multiple choice here, because we usually relate multiple choice with quizzes, okay? So this is the difference. So presenter will receive the responses here. In a quiz, it will be a competition between the participants. Now let me start with any one of the type. I'm going with the multiple choice itself. So I'm clicking on the type. So you can see that particular template is appearing in the middle, and it is automatically taking me to this content tab. So there you can find out the first thing is your question. So this is where I will have to type my question. If I have to choose any questions which I've already typed out, it will come up there in the drop down menu. I can also use that. Otherwise, I will have to type it myself. So maybe I'm just typing out some question like, okay, so this is my question. So I can type a question like this. So my question part is done. There is limitations in the number of words that can be there in the question. You can find there is a small number that is appearing. So until it becomes 0, I can type a question. Otherwise, I'll have to shorten my question. Okay. Then below you can find options. So since this is a multiple choice, I will have to give options. So maybe I'll give my options. So since I'm talking about video conferencing tools, I'm just going to give related options like Google Meet. The second option, I go there and give the next option. In option 3, again, I give another option. And if I want to add options, I can keep adding on and on. Okay, so there is no limitations on the number of options. But if I keep on adding too many options, my visualization will look very clumsy. So it is better I don't go for more options. Okay, so if I don't want, I can also remove it here. So you find the remove option here. If I click it, it will just go. So for me, 3 options are enough. So I'm just leaving it as it is. And coming below further, you can find the result layout. So you can find the result layout here. So it shows how you want the visualization to be. So should it be a bar graph or a donut, pie, or a dot plotting? So all these options are available. You also have additional settings if I scroll further down. So show correct answers. So here it can be like a quiz. So if you take this particular question, all the options are right. There is no wrong answer at all, because I'm gathering some opinion from the audience. But if there is a very definite question that I'm answering, which has one right and one wrong answer, in that case, I can go for this option, because if I tick this, you can find out it is giving me a small square near the options to choose which is the right answer. So I can choose the right answer also. Anyways, this question doesn't warrant it. So I'm just unchecking it. I don't want to show any correct answers. And also I can check this option if I want to show the results in a percentage. You would have seen that the number of participants were only coming up over there. There were 34 participants who had participated in that particular quiz that particular voting that I showed you. If I wanted to be in a percentage, that can also be done if I have to check this particular option. If the participants can choose multiple options, for that I can give this, okay? And if I have to base the results of this question with another question in my presentation, that I can do using this segmentation. Anyways, I'm not going to go with all those things now. Now a basic question is ready, okay? That's it. We have just put the content into the template. Now I will have to customize this slide. You can find the third tab over there, customize. So I click on customize. So it has some more options. So here you can find out there is one important option which says close voting. Now you can find out here in the particular slide, as you see here, on the top it is telling me go to menti.com and use this particular code 237470. If that particular code is available with you, you can start voting. The vote will automatically appear. So it doesn't matter whether I'm presenting the slide or not. If the participant knows the code, they can start voting and the votes will start coming in right away. So it is not that I have to put in a full screen mode. I have to say that I needn't tell that the slide is only now being presented and only then the votes are there. No. Once I create a slide, once the code is there, it is totally live. Okay. So they can start voting. But as a presenter, I want only the voting to happen when I'm presenting. So in that case, it is better I choose this particular option, close voting. You can also find in the particular thing, it is very, small. I will show you when I'm showing a demo again. Okay. So you can find out it says voting is closed. So unless I open the voting, unless the presenter opens the voting, no participant can vote. If I don't give this option, if they have the code, the participant can start voting. Okay, so that is one thing. And here another option which says hide instruction bar. So if I click on it, you can find out the code, everything, that instruction is gone. But I want it to appear on my slide. So I'm just keeping it as it is. And when we were doing that particular vote, the results were all showing up right away on the screen. But I don't want the results to appear over there. But I just want the results only for myself. In that case, I can give hide results. Anyways, for now, I'm not going to give it. So I don't want to hide the results. I want it to be live on the screen. And below that, you can find few options. They are all available as an upgraded version. So I cannot do anything of it. So now I've done with this particular slide. Okay. So the steps are very simple. I have to choose the slide. I have to choose which type of a slide I want. I have to add in the content. I have to customize. So only three steps, very simple. Okay, now let me add one more slide and show you. So to do that, you have an option here in this left-hand side corner, add slide. I'm clicking on add slide. You can find a slide is coming up over here. Okay, so even with the slide, you have few options. So here you can delete the slide. You can copy, you can duplicate the slide. So duplicate slide will create a copy of the same slide. Inside that presentation itself, you have copy slide to another presentation. So if you have a question slide from this presentation, which you want to copy to another presentation, that also I can do. And I can also delete that particular slide. Okay. So I will have to have at least one slide in my presentation. So I cannot delete the last slide. All the other slides can be deleted. Okay, fine. Now let me choose another question type. Maybe I'll go with word cloud. So word cloud is like prompting audiences to give few words as input. So they will have to type. In the previous type, it was just a multiple choice. It is enough if they just choose it. But in word cloud, they can type out answers. So for example, I'm typing a question like this. I think I have a question already here. Okay. So answer any 3 tools. I already have this question. So it is coming from a drop-down menu. So I've just taken from the drop-down. So answer any tools that we have seen right now. So for the past 2 days, we have been seeing about a lot of things. Okay, so I'm just expecting audience to give an answer on that. Okay, so it can be any tool. And here you have an option to specify how many entries per participants I require. So by default, it says 3. I can increase, I can decrease, I can do it. Okay, so for now, I'm just putting 3. And since it is expecting the audience to type, I can have a language filter also. Because they shouldn't type anything abusive because it is going to come up in the screen. So you can also add a filter if I want to. Okay, so I can add a language filter. And if they can submit multiple times, I can choose this option. Anyways, for now, I'm not disturbing it. So now the content is also done. I'm going to the customize again. Same way, I'll better keep the voting closed. I will only open when I'm presenting. Okay, so all the other options we have already seen. So now we have 2 questions or 2 slides ready in our presentation. So it is enough. The others, I'm just leaving it for you to explore. Now the presentation is done. but we have done changes, or we have made some changes for individual slides only. We didn't concentrate on the settings of the full presentation. So to do that, you can find in the right hand side corner, there is an option which says configure. Right below present, you can find an option which says configure. I'm clicking on it. Okay. So these settings are something which pertains to the complete presentation. So this presentation has 2 slides. So whatever that I'm doing here applies to both the slides, okay, to the whole presentation. So here, this is one important thing that I should say. By default, it says it is in the presenter pace. So it means I am the presenter. I have 2 questions ready. I'm going to present and I'm going to show it to the audience. So the audience can vote on those questions only when the presenter is showing it on the screen. Otherwise, the audience cannot vote. Okay, so it will go in the pace of the presenter. So if the presenter is showing that slide, they can vote. Otherwise, they will not be able to vote. So only if they move, if the presenter also moves to the next question, that question will come up in your mobile or in menti.com, wherever you're just looking for voting. Only then that particular question will change. Otherwise, it will not. Okay, so this particular option is useful when you're doing an online class, because you will be live, you will be there with your students. So as in when you're presenting, only you will want your students to answer. Okay, so we can go for the presenter pace settings if you're going for an online classroom. We can choose this audience pace when we want to gather a feedback after the class. So it is something like a remote survey. So I will prepare the questions, I will share the link, and if I give audience space, the audience can open and the questions will move on and on after they keep answering. So it is not presenter pace. They can vote in their own pace. Okay, so this is the difference. So go for presenter pace if you're online. If you're offline, you can go for audience pace. Okay, for now, I'm just leaving it to presenter pace. Then you have the language, and you can accept questions and comments from the audience. So you have options for it. I'm not going in detail into them. Okay, so this is the important one that I wanted to say. Okay, so I'm clicking again. Fine. Then you have themes. You can click on themes. There are few themes which are available only for the upgraded version. The other themes I can use. Okay, by default, it is the light theme which is applied. If I want, I can go for other themes as well. And the third one here that you see, examples. If you click on it, you can find there are many example questions which are already put up. So you don't even have the strain of creating your own questions. You can add these questions which are already there, and also you can put it. You can find out it says upgrade to add this slide, because in a free account, you will be able to add only 2 question types and 5 quiz type questions. You can see there below in this pink bar that you see at the bottom of your window, it says with your free account, you can add only these many questions and these many quiz questions. Okay, so that is why it says import in the example. I mean upgrade. That's why it says upgrade to add to this slide. Whereas you can find this is a quiz question. That's why it gives me or it shows me the answer add. Okay, so if in case I want to add more questions, it is better we create new presentations. That's all. Okay. In one presentation, you'll be able to add only 2 questions and 5 quiz questions. But you can add as many number of presentations you want. Even you can have one presentation with 1 question. That is up to you. Okay, your choice. Okay, fine. So everything is now done. I can also share my link. I mean, I'll show you how. So this is now ready for presentation. So I can just start presenting. Before that, I have this one particular thing to say. So you can find near present, you have a share option. I'm clicking on share. So here you have share settings. So how we are going to share. So how many days the link will be available for them to use. All that details are up here. So in participation, you can see audience access, which says the presentation is available to join. So if I expand, it shows 2 options. Like now I have this presentation ready. I'm anyways going to give you the link to you. And the link will be up there for 2 days. So here you can see below, it says the digital code, the digit code is valid now and expires in 2 days. So in these 2 days, any time if you just visit the link, you will be able to vote. But if I don't want that, I can just close my presentation. My whole presentation will be closed. It will not be there for access. But if I keep this option available to join through the code or QR link or direct link, It means that in those 2 days, till that particular code is alive, I can keep joining the presentation. I can keep voting. Okay. Anyways, for now, I'm just keeping it like this, available to join through the code. Fine. Then next, there comes the digit code. This code is automatically created by Mentimeter. I cannot change it. I can change the number of days of expiration. So for an upgraded version, they give at least 14 days of expiration. Otherwise, you can have this code for 7 days. So this particular code will be the code for this single presentation for 7 days. It will not change. So if I want to have it to be valid for more days, I can choose this option. And I also have this voting link. So just like how you went to menti.com and you gave a number to vote, instead of that, I can copy this link. And if I give it to you, you can just click on it and you can start voting. So let me show that also. So I have now copied the link. I will paste it in your window before I present. Okay. So this is with the sharing. Presentation sharing is available only as an upgraded version. All the other features are not very important now. So I'm not concentrating on them. Okay. I've closed it. Okay. So now I have the sharing link. Now my question is ready to present. Before that, let me paste the link in the Google Meet chat. You can just click on it to be there as part of it. Okay, hope you've got the link. I'm back to my screen and I'm going to give present now. So now as you click on that link, it will show the voting is closed. I hope you're able to see that. Okay, so I'm just giving the code. If you're not able to see the code on my screen, the code is 237470 if you're going through menti.com. Otherwise, you can just click on the link that I've shared in Google Forms. In the Google Meet chat. So I'm sure all of you would have got a thing like this. The question is not open for voting, okay? Because you can see there, I have closed the voting here. So I can right away open the voting. So just give a C. I have to press C. It says keyboard shortcut C. If I just click on the letter C in my keyboard, that particular voting is closed thing is gone. And now the question will be there up on your screen. You can start voting. So you can vote. We'll be very quick. Okay, I've got only 19 responses. Waiting for some more. Okay, we'll wait for some more. Okay, I think I'll wait till we reach 30 responses. Okay, so I think I can stop with this. So now the voting is open, so you're able to vote for this particular question. Now I want to stop my voting. Again, I will have to press the character C in my keyboard. So I'm pressing it. You can see it says voting is closed. Okay, so after this, I will not receive any voting. I can move to my next question. Okay, so we'll move to the next question. Okay, so this is the question. So if you're not able to see the question, you just refresh that particular, you will find a refresh button coming up in your screen. Just refresh, you will find the question coming up. Okay. Now, because I had the voting closed, now I have released the voting. I'm sure you'll be able to see. So you can just input any 3 tools that we have seen till now. It can be anything. Okay, it can be anything. So right from the first day, we have been seeing about a lot of things. You can type them and submit. So you can see as and when we are getting responses, a word cloud is being created. So all the words are put together as a cloud. And the particular input that came a lot of times is what you can see bigger in size. So Google Meet is something a lot of people have given as an input. So that is why now Google Classroom, it has changed to Google Classroom. So that is how it comes. Okay. So this is how we create a word cloud. So you can pose such questions in your classroom to check how well the students are really with you in the classroom. So you can tell them to give such descriptive inputs. So I mean, you know that which concept has gone into them really well. Okay, fine. So I see a very beautiful word cloud here. Fine. So I'm just closing the outing. So I'm pressing a C again. So I'm closing the outing. Okay. So I can, I'm just going to come out of the screen. So before that, I have few options in the slideshow also. So exit will make me come out of the screen. You have minimize. It will just show in a minimized fashion inside my browser. You can also hide results here. You can also toggle results here. You can open and vote closing. I mean, open the voting and also close the voting using this option or using the keyboard option also. Using C, I can do that. And also I have a countdown. So I can specify that the voting will end in 1 minute, 30 seconds, 10 seconds. I can set that. And if I give start countdown, that will also be running. Okay, so that is also possible. So now let me minimize the screen. So this is what is the minimize option. Okay, so if I have to exit, I click on the exit over here. It will come back to this particular screen. Okay, so this is with Mentimeter when we are going to present it through the Mentimeter website. But the first example that I showed, I was doing it from my PowerPoint. Okay, so I have this particular presentation, I mean that particular slide in my PowerPoint. So I can add a Mentimeter slide in my PowerPoint as well. So to do that, there is one issue that we have to take note of. It is available only from PowerPoint 2016 onwards. So before that, this plugin is not available. I cannot use it. So from PowerPoint 2016, I will be able to use it. Okay. Anyways, I will just quickly show you how. So to do that, I go to the Home tab in my PowerPoint presentation. Click New Slide. So you have a new slide coming up over here. And I go to the Insert tab. So right near my Home tab, you find Insert tab. I go there. And there is a small part which says Add-Ins. This particular PowerPoint I'm using is Microsoft 365. And right from Microsoft 2016, I can use this particular add-in. But if I have to add this particular Mentimeter into PowerPoint, I will require a Microsoft 365 account. So you have to create a Microsoft 365 account for that. Only then you can search for the add-in and put it inside. Okay. So I'll go to this Get Add-ins. So a particular page like this will open. A store is opening. Here I can search for Mentimeter. So I'm typing Mentimeter and I'm giving a search. So you can find out Mentimeter is available as an add-in. It is like a plugin. Okay. So I can see here, I give add. So it asks for the license terms, privacy policy. I give continue. So you can find out the plugin is automatically added. Nothing. Because since I've already logged in using my account, it doesn't ask for the credentials. Otherwise, it will definitely ask for your Microsoft 365 account credentials. Okay. So you can see the plugin is up here. I will show you in full screen. Okay. So this is how the plugin will appear. So here you can find out it says that the link of the slide has to be given. So you have to note down that the Mentimeter presentation as a whole cannot be added to PowerPoint. So I can only add one slide at a time. Okay. So because we just created a presentation, we had 2 slides, but I cannot completely take that full presentation and put it here. I can only put it slide by slide. So for that, I will have to take the slide link from Mentimeter and paste it here. That's all. Very simple. So I'm going back to mentimeter.com. Okay, I'm going back here. I'm giving present because only then I can get my slide. I'm going present. So it is up here in full screen. I'm giving this minimize option. You can find the minimize option at the bottom. So once I minimize, it is coming up in the browser, and in my address bar, I can find the slide link. So the slide link is unique for every slide. Now, if I go to the previous slide, it will be a different link. You can find out the link is different, and now the link is different. So the slide link is something unique. So I select this particular slide link from the address bar. I can copy the slide link. I go back to my PowerPoint presentation, and here in the place where it is asking me for the slide link, I am pasting it. So I paste and I give select, so that particular slide will appear over here. Okay, so it is loading. Yeah, so you can find out the same question, that particular slide is appearing over here. So then after this, you can just show just like how we do a normal slideshow in PowerPoint. It is the same way, just like how I showed from Mentimeter.com. It is the same way you can use here also. But the only limitation is it is only available from 2016 onwards. Okay, so that's it with Mentimeter. If you have any questions.
Good evening. This is Dr. Evangeline. Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I thought of asking whether I can include this Mentimeter slides in between my PPT slides. You cleared it very well.
Oh,
can I do it in a face-to-face classroom offline?
Offline also you can do, ma'am. We can prepare the questions. We can prepare it. And I was telling about the audience space, isn't it? So you can choose that option. Share the link, just like how I shared the link now. I shared a menti.com/link, isn't it? You can share it with your students and you can get feedback. That is possible. So it is available both online and offline. But online it is very effective because such a tool is it is not very available. So it is very interesting for them also to vote and be engaged in the classroom.
Okay, fine. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Faustina, there is a question there. How do I manage to see in Google Classroom and Mentimeter together?
How do I manage two scenes?
Yeah, two windows.
Just like how I did now, ma'am.
Correct.
No other go, because Google Classroom is browser based. We cannot do anything with it. So maybe I can just keep it side by side and I can handle. Otherwise, I have to maximize and minimize. No other.
Two different windows, right? Okay.
Any other questions, ma'am? That's it?
Yeah. Yes, Faustina. Thank you, Faustina. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Now over to Charulata for the next session.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. This session, we will be seeing how to add Google quizzes or quizzes in Google Classroom. Okay, so let me present and show you a live demo. There's not a presentation. I'm going for a live demo. So as a teacher, I have logged into this and I've created a class, a BCAA. Now in this class, I want to create a quiz and assign it to my student. Okay, so in that case, you have to click on classwork. And I know you are would have seen with Jaipriya ma'am session that how to assign assignments and other questions. Here we are going to see in a classwork how to create quizzes. So here you can directly click on quiz assignment. There are two methods here in adding the quiz assignment. One, I would have gone to my Google Forms, created a quiz there, and I've saved in my drive. And in that particular, from that drive also, I can have the attachment done. That is one method. Or directly from the classroom, I can create a quiz for the students. So both the ways I can do. Suppose I already have a quiz which is already done and saved in my drive, and I can just go click on add and it will go to my Google Drive. And if you notice in your drive, you will have your classroom details to be shown. So you can click on the quiz which you think that you want to share with your students. That is one way. That is, you already know how to create a quiz using Google Forms directly. Otherwise, you can go create it from the scratch here itself. So here you have a title to be given. The title is the title what you want your students to see, and topic is under which the title will be shown. So title I'm giving is basic computer questions. And if you have any instructions, give it. If you have any instructions, you can add it there. And in the sidebar, you can see that whether you want to assign it for all students or only for certain students. Suppose some students would have already taken up and some would have missed because of certain issues or network issues. In that case, they want to attend it one more time, then you can very well go select those particular students alone, not every student. And here I can set the points. Okay. So if you are going to set the points as 10, then I can very well enter 10 here. Or if you want to be ungraded just for a revision sake you're going to give, then also you can have some points for them, but not grading at all. And you can allow the students to take up the quiz within a particular date and time. So I can select, say I'm posting it today, in that case within tomorrow, and time is optional. So time I can go with 11:59, or you want to keep it open only tomorrow evening 6 p.m. After that, after which you don't want to have the quiz to be available for the students, okay, for attending. So I can select that way. And here you can see I have given the points, I have set the date and the time till which the quiz will be active for the students to participate. And then I create a new topic. So it will be like quiz time. Okay. So having done this, I have only preliminarily done the basics of creating a title and the topic and assigning points. Now I have to enter into my quiz window. So here click on blank quiz. So once you click on blank quiz, it will take you up to the Google Forms page where you have to give a proper title. And then, so here, if you want to add some title like this question is attended by some person, then you can have add title and description for whom you are creating, and any other instructions you want to give also, you can very well type in there. Click on untitled question, and I can type in the question as say Pascal is. And here beneath you can see options. Suppose you want to create it as a multiple choice, you can go with. So here on the side drop down, you have the various formats of creating a question. So there can be a short answer, there can be a paragraph. Short answer and paragraph, you cannot always rely on self-assessment, like the quiz will be assessed automatically. You cannot assess that because you have to clearly give and you have to expect the same terms to be given by the participant also. So in those cases, it is better you go for not revealing the marks, but later after submission. I'll tell you how to do that as well. So short answers and paragraphs also you can give, provided if you are expecting only a single word answer and that word alone. It will be like for smaller classes, you can have that. Who is the father of so and so? So they will be giving you one answer and you can very well ensure that that is the word they are typing in as well. So in that case, you can go for a self-assessment. But paragraph, you have to give in the keywords, which is very difficult. So it is better going for a manual review, not for assessing automatically. And multiple choice, I'm choosing here and I'm giving it as programming language. Add option, you have to click, and here you can type in an unit of computer. You can stop with 2 options or you can go with any number of options as you like. It's an operating system and I'm giving it as none of the above. Having done this, now I have given only the question and the options. I haven't said the answers at all. So here beneath that, you can see answer key. Okay, maybe I'll maximize the screen a little bit. Okay. Hope it is clear now. Okay. I have given Pascal is as a question. I have typed in there and I have given the 4 options. And here there is an answer key option. So click on that. Now I have to choose the correct option. So Pascal is a programming language. I'm choosing that as a correct option. So whenever the user enters, automatically he will be graded. And here you can give the points allocated for that. Say I can give 5 points or 2 points. How much ever points you want to allocate, you can give it. So I'm giving it as 2 points. And here you can also add answer feedback. Answer feedback is when the user gives an incorrect answer, immediately you can say answer is incorrect. That is when after submitting the form, when he wants to review or have a quick view of what are the questions he has missed, how much mark he has got, and whether he has attended all the questions and how many he has got wrong and what was the error, the correct answers, all those things he can very well see if you are setting up your quiz form in that format. Okay, so when he is seeing, you can very well give a correct answer, and you want to support it with any other video or a link or a web page, that is also possible. Because if you think that it needs an elaborate explanation and this explanation can be found in a video or found in another web source, in that case you can give it as, I'm just typing in a message, answer is incorrect. And here you can see you have a link and you also have a video link. Okay, so if I click this, it will take me to the YouTube video. You can just very well copy the YouTube video or paste the URL here. You can search from here also, or you can paste it directly. Okay, so if anybody clicks on the incorrect answer, it will show answer is incorrect, and as well as provide him the source to give them an extra knowledge on that particular question and how do you justify the answer. So if for correct answers, you can also give good, appreciative, something of that sort. And for that also to elaborate on their answers. Maybe by fluke, sometimes they would have got it correct, but you want to give them an idea from which source you chose this question, or how do you, if you want to elaborate more on Pascal, you can go well with that particular topic as well. So I'm saving it. So what we had done is I have given a question, I have given the options, and I have set the answers, gone for an answer key, selected the correct answer, given the points, and then gave an answer feedback as well. After doing this, I have to click on done. So this one, the question is given here, but here beneath you can see it is required. Unless and otherwise I open this option, it will not be a mandatory one, it will be optional one. So the students might skip out. Okay, so if you think that this is a mandatory question, click it as required. Okay, suppose I wanted to add one more question which consists of some images. Okay, I want to have, say, most of the time we would have seen a logical reasoning quiz where you will have an image and they will ask you to complete the sequence. So you want to give it in the question as well as, or only the option part you want the images to be added, that is also possible. So here I am giving it as complete the sequence. And when I move near this line, you can see a small image icon. So click on the image icon and upload it. If you should have already taken those images and kept it ready. So I have just cropped few images for a logical reasoning. So I will just browse. And I'm giving the question. Okay, so this is the question I want to upload. So here you can see my question has an image with a question mark. Okay, now I have to give the options. So options here also I have to have an image only. So when I click on option, I will either type or I can go with this add image. Both the options are available. Suppose if you think that you have a question as a textual, only the options as images, that is also possible. Or everything as images. I want the question to be an image and the options also to be image. That is also very much possible. So here I give it as, here I give it as option A. I will go choose an image again. And then add another option B with the image. You can browse and take the images. Okay, I have added all the options, the question as an image and the options also as an images. Now I have to select the answer key. So click on answer key. It will take some time to load because it's an image. I have to give the number of points for this. Again, I'm allotting 2 points. And here I give it as B to be my option, that is the correct option. If you have any answer feedback to be given, we can very well give that as well. If you don't want to give feedback, no harm in that. You can only show only the correct answer and click on done. And still we haven't made it as required. So come down and click on required. That is, it's not an optional one. So to add again another question, I have to click on this plus symbol, which comes as a floating window next to my question form. So click on that. Here I am choosing logical operators are. Here I don't want to go for a multiple choice. I want to go with a checkbox. So I'm clicking on checkbox and I'm giving and or not, and then I'm going for. So I want the options more than once to be chosen. So click on answer key. I have to choose which are the correct options and give the points and click on done and set it to be required. These are the steps which you have to follow. I can very well go with the next question as a drop down also, because you think I don't want it to be displayed, everything to be displayed. I want a drop down format. You can very well choose that way also. I am sorry. I want to have a drop down with a true or false. I'll go with the basic one. So it will be true or, and it will have an automatic suggestion. I can go with that as well. So I can click on that and the false option is created. So go to the answer key. I'll choose which is correct and set the points and click on done, make it as required. So having done these questions, now I want to have a quick view of how it actually viewed by the student. So I will have a preview button here. Click on preview. Here you can see those questions which are mandatory, which are required, will have this asterisk marks here. Most of you would have known all these things. Just a quick brush up for those who are not understanding that. And this is how, when you have a drop down, it will look. Okay. So this is how to create questions. The next thing is I haven't given any settings. So click on settings. Whether you want the student to attend it only once, then I can click to limit to one response. Obviously from the Google Classroom only they are going to enter here. So the sign in will not be a problem here at all. So limit to 1 response, and whether you want them to attend it any number of times, then you can give edit after submit. But as such, for a testing purpose, it is not advisable to use this edit after submit. And the next thing is going on to the quizzes format. It is obviously make this as a quiz, and whether you want to release grade. This is what I was telling you. Whether you want to immediately tell them how much they have scored. Suppose it doesn't have any short answers, they can very well know their score, because it is all the answers keys are set, and obviously it will be calculating for them the score, and it will be revealing them without any hassle. But if you have a short answer or a paragraph answer, it is better you go in for a manual review. Okay, but when you have this later after manual review, obviously it will collect their email IDs. So I'm giving it as immediately after each submission, and what all the users, the participants can see: the missed questions, the correct answer, and point value. Suppose you don't want to reveal the correct answers because you think they might pass it on to their friends, and you don't want to reveal them their score also, then you can click on this later after manual review. Otherwise, this is not required. After setting up, limit to 1 response in the settings, and you will have this quizzes. You will have to select the options which you give it as a privilege, or those things which the student can view. Okay, so I'm just clicking on save. So once this is done, on top it is showing as blank quiz. I don't want that name to be appearing, so I'm just giving it as basics of computer and just copying it and pasting it here. So I have a very good neat appearance. So it will be easy for me if I have a proper title for my form, because everything gets saved in my drive with which I have created this classroom. So in the classroom, there will be a drive. So for the classroom, there is a drive. This is my personal drive where I can see I have a classroom. It holds all the folders, all the classes in which I am a student and as well as in which I am a teacher. So I can move on to any one of these classrooms and see already whatever I've created will be available here. Okay, so here, whatever we have uploaded within the classroom, all those things will be available here. So having done this, all these, if you are satisfied with everything, now you can just close it, because everything gets saved in the drive and you can get back to your classroom. So this classroom now, it will be still a blank quiz, because only on assign, it will be sending it to the students, as well as it will be making a note of it, because I can very well come out of at any point in time. I want to create it later stage, I can do it. Here in assign also, if you want to schedule it, suppose I'm going to cover this topic on basics of computer only today, and I want to, but I had time earlier where I had already created this quiz, so I can schedule it. So later in the evening, I will, after my class, I can tell the students, you would have got a classwork in your class, Google Classroom, you can attend it. Okay, so you can very well schedule it as well, or you can save as a draft. Later stage you want to use it, or you can discard it also. So I want to click on assign. Once I click on assign, it will be sent as an email as well as a notification to their students. So I am opening a student's window. So this is one student who is a part of that particular classroom. It is loading. Takes time. I'm sorry, it is taking time for me. So on the teachers, by the time it gets assigned there, I will just show you how it will look in the teacher. The teacher will be able to see the question and it is saying it is assigned to one and none of them have turned in. Okay, only if the person attends the quiz, the turned in will be shown. Suppose you want to delete it. As I've told you, the topic is the one which will come on top and this is the title what we had given. If you want to delete or make a change, then you can click on edit or delete, and editing will also be updated to the student immediately. Or you don't want this topic at all, this entire thing you want to rename, you can rename or you can delete as such. So this entire thing which comes under this particular topic will be deleted. Hope it is assigned here. So here in the students thing, you can see that so the student will be able to see that Charulata has posted a new assignment, basic computer questions. So if your student clicks, it will show him the quiz and the instruction, whatever we have typed, it will be shown here. So click on basics of computer and start attending. So I'm giving the questions and the answers. So this is how the student will be able to see it. And click on submit. And once the student clicks on submit, he will be able to see the score. And here you can see the feedback, what we had given in the answer feedback. It shows him good. And it says how much he has scored. The student has scored. Okay, so this is how it will be there for the student. So once you are done, you want to open the assignment again, get back to your classroom, and you want to turn it in. Your work is turned in. Suppose the student doesn't want to submit it, he can very well unsubmit and attend it again. So I'll get back to the teacher mode. The teacher mode, now it is showing us turned in as 1. So I have to just click on this. Sorry. I'll go to the quiz time and I will click on turned in. It shows me the student who has turned in. But since it is my personal account, I cannot import my grade. There are certain accounts which is connected with the drive and automatically it will take the values from those things and it will show how much ever marks they have scored. We had given only 3 or 4 questions there. So based on that, the mark will be given. Otherwise, these values similar to your Google Drive, you have to just enter into your Google Drive, click on the classroom and basics of computer. Here you can see the responses is 1. So click on that. You can very well open the spreadsheet, check out the score, what they have scored, and you have to come back here, give the marks here, say they have answered all the questions correctly, so 10, and you have to return. So this is how you will be evaluating a quiz, and on return, you can give a note. Very good, and send it to the student. So the student, whenever he logs in or into the classroom, he will be getting a note from you that this particular quiz has been graded and it has been evaluated. You can see in the student window that your quiz has been received and it has been returned to you and the score has been updated here for the student. So this is how a teacher and the student will be able to work along in a quiz. Suppose you want to delete that quiz, you can very well do that, as I have already told you. And you want to email it only to the selected students also. That is, you don't want to reveal the marks for certain other students or only few of them have attended. Only those students' work you want to immediately return their work. In those cases also, you can select the students and you can return it. So any doubts here?
Ma'am, can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. How can I get an assignment in the form of a Google document?
Ma'am, they can very well attach it, ma'am. There is an attachment there available. they can use that one, or select that Google Doc link and share it as a link with you. So that link you can very well open and see it.
Okay. My second question is, can you please share a web page using Share to Classroom?
For a class, in the quiz you are asking, ma'am?
Yeah, anywhere else. Using a Share to Classroom, can you share a web page?
Yes, ma'am, that is a link only. No, ma'am, you have to share the link.
Okay.
The link, it will take you there.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Timing for the quiz as such, there are few add-ons which is available when you are working with Google Forms itself. That is Timify. So you can very well go with the Timify. Here it restricts only with the entire days and the time. Say, for example, within 2 days and within this particular time I can set. But if you want to set for each and every quiz, there is an add-on available called Timify in Google. You can very well add on to that particular thing. Add-ons, there are a lot of add-ons available. You can very well use that. Yes, it is possible, ma'am. There is a option there for languages as well, but it is restricted, not for all languages. You can take a snapshot of it, ma'am. If you think that you want, you have a very big formula to be done and you want it to be done, then you can just write it also, take a pic, convert it into an image, and then put that image itself as a question. That way you can very well do that.
Okay, thank you, Charulata.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Over to Fastina for the next session.
Thank you, ma'am. Hope you're able to see the screen. Yes. Is the screen visible?
Yes, Fastina, it's visible.
Okay, okay, fine. So in this session, I'm going to introduce you to one of the online quiz platforms. So before, you know that there are many quiz platforms. Even right now, Charulata ma'am had explained about Google Forms where you can create quizzes online. So apart from that, there are platforms which are purely dedicated to creating quizzes online. So you can use these quiz platforms for various reasons. First one is it encourages participant engagement. Like I'm very sure we've all taken quizzes in a physical classrooms, right? So it builds a sense of competitiveness among our students. So they really enjoy being in a quiz. So now when we are shifting to an online classroom, we would want to do something like that, for which we can take the help of these online quiz platforms that are there. And it can accommodate large number of participants, because we know how to manually manage a large number of students is going to be really tough. But using these tools, it is very easy to manage so many students at a time. Randomization of questions. So we will have a set of questions and we would want each student to get it in a random order. I know if we do it manually, it is so time consuming for us. We will be preparing question set 1, 2, and so on. So it is going to be very tedious for us. But since we're using an online tool, it is very easy. We can have randomization of questions. We can set timers for each and every question. So yeah, so that is also possible if you're using an online platform. Finally, auto evaluation and insights. So if you're going to use a tool, we will supply the questions. We will also give the answer options, and we will also provide the answer key. So there is no role for the teacher to sit and evaluate them. So the tool will automatically evaluate and also give insights. So reports will be generated automatically for each and every quiz that is happening, and the teacher will be able to evaluate how well the class has performed. So here you can see the performance is going to be individual. Like I can see as to which student has performed well and which student didn't answer the questions well. So individual performance can also be assessed when I use an online quiz platform. So this is the reason why we can go for such platforms. There are many platforms available, like the Google Forms that we just saw. Then there is Kahoot, and there is one more called Quizzes. So today I'm going to show you a demo of how to go about with Quizzes. We have tried all these tools, but we've seen that Quizzes has a lot of features. Quizzes is a made in India product. So it is based in Bangalore. It was built up by two young entrepreneurs. So they're all, the company is there in Bangalore, and a lot of features are free. So if we sign in inside Quizzes as a teacher, we have a lot of features for free. So it is very interesting, and since there is no much limitations, it is easy for us to use in an online scenario. Okay, so I'll start with Quizzes. So in Quizzes, there are a few things that we can do. Quizzes allows live quiz. That is, the teacher will be live, the students will also be live. So the questions or the quizzing will happen through Quizzes, and the results will also come up automatically. So in a quiz, we know that there's something going to be like a leaderboard. So as and when the students are answering the questions, there will be a leaderboard that will come up where you can see how well the students are competing with each other. Okay, we will do a demo. We are going to do a live quiz shortly. So that is possible. You can also have an offline quiz. So you can create a quiz, you can give it to the students, you can set a deadline, and then they can, within that deadline, the student can attempt that quiz. So offline quiz is also possible. And then public quizzes. So if we didn't have a time to create our own quiz, so there are many quizzes under many categories as public quizzes. We can search for the relevant quiz, and also we can go about with it. And we can also make our own quiz as public so that others can search for it and use for their students. That is also possible. Then you can also create classrooms to share quiz. You can also attach a Google Classroom to Quizzes, or you can create a classroom inside Quizzes itself. So if in case you're going to use Quizzes alone as a very prominent quiz platform, you'll be again and again using Quizzes. In that case, this will be a very handy feature to use. Okay, so these are the things possible with Quizzes. It is very, very easy to create. So we will just go about with that. Okay, before that, I'll have to tell you a few terms. It is the same way in which we saw Mentimeter. Even in Mentimeter, we had someone called a presenter and an audience, right? So even here, we have a host and the players. So if you're talking about an online classroom scenario, the host is going to be the teacher. The players are going to be the student. So the host will have to create the quiz. So he has to supply the questions, the answer options, and the key, and will also start that particular quiz. So he'll prepare the quiz and also start the quiz, and the players, so the students. So students will attend the quiz using a game code, just like how we did in Mentimeter. So they'll have to go to another site. So you can see here also there's going to be two websites that will be dealing. So the host side, the teacher will create a quiz in quizzes.com, and the students will attend in a different website, which is joinmyquiz.com or quizzes.com/join. So these are the two roles which we'll have to see. Again, they'll give a game code when they have to attempt that particular quiz, and they can start playing the quiz. So this is how it is, exactly the same way in which we did Mentimeter. So I think there won't be a confusion here. Okay. So in the live quizzes, so when there is a live quiz happening, this is how it will happen. So I will be the host. I am the teacher here. So I'll be the host, and the audience will be the players. So once I start the quiz, so I will give you a link. You will click on it. You will enter the game code. So you will have in your own device the questions and answers that will be coming up to you. You can start playing. And in the presenter screen, that is in the teacher screen, the results will be just changing one after the other. So if one person has gone wrong and the next person has got it right, there will be a change in the leaderboard. So all those will be reflected in the teacher's screen. So you can play one-on-one with your device, and only the results will come up in the host screen. We'll play that so that you will understand how this works. So let me go to a live demo. I'm going to show you how to create a quizzes quiz. Okay. So I'm opening my browser. So I'm typed quizzes.com because we are going to be the host. We have to create a quiz now. So I'm going to quizzes.com. So this is the homepage of Quizzes. So you can find out it is like this. And here you have an option to sign up. Sign up is very easy, so I'm not going to get into that. It is very, very easy. And then since I have a login already, I'm just going to use my credential and get inside quizzes. Okay, so I'm inside my quizzes page. So you can find out that there's my profile up there, and you can find a menu to the right, to the left hand side, which has a lot of options. So this is the page that you see in the center, wherein you can find a lot of public quizzes. Okay, so there are a lot of public quizzes under many categories that you can. Yes, ma'am.
Are you presenting?
Yes, ma'am.
No, we are not able to see your presentation.
Ma'am, I'm into my browser now. Can you see?
No, we are not able to see.
1 minute. Is my browser visible now, ma'am?
Yes, fast enough. Now it's visible.
Okay. Yeah, so once I get inside login, once I give my credentials and come inside quizzes, this is how it will be. You can find out the public quizzes over here. So they are all categorized. You can find out public quizzes. And here up, you can find a search bar where you can type in any concept for which you want a quiz for. You can just search for them and use it right away. That is also available. And then coming to the menu in the right to the left hand side, you can find something called My Quizzes. So if I click on that, you can find the quizzes that I have already created. So there are quite a number of quizzes that I already have. All that will be listed. So you can find there are few quizzes which says draft. It means that I haven't completed typing the questions for that particular quiz. So it is not mandatory that I have to sit and type the full quiz right away. So I can just stop in the middle. I can save it. So it will show draft until I stop that particular quiz. Until I prepare that particular quiz, it will remain as draft. Okay. And coming back to the next option, it says reports. So I was telling you about auto evaluation and insights. So these many quizzes we have already done. So you can find out, it says on what type it was. So the first one, if you see, it was a live quiz, the name of the quiz, how many players came, and what is the class accuracy. All those details are coming up. So if I click on it, you can find out that individually how many people have attempted, how many got it right, how many got it wrong, what is their individual accuracy, what was the score they got. There are so many things that you can see here. Okay, so this is the reports that I was talking about. So the overall class accuracy, how many questions were there, and you can also download these reports for yourself. So you can do all these things. So these are available under reports. Again, coming to the menu, the next option you have is classes. So I was telling that you can create classes in quizzes. So there are two things. You can either create directly in quizzes, or you can also import from your Google Classroom. Whatever be the option, you will have to create an account in quizzes. So the student will have to create an account because it will have to generate reports from that. So otherwise, if it is a very simple quiz that you're going to show for give it to your students for one-time use, there is no, you needn't have a quizzes login. So the students can right away click on the link and answer. Anyways, they'll be giving their name, so we know which student attempted the quiz. So there is no login mandatory for the students unless they want to use features like this. Okay, so they can right away attempt the quiz without a login. Next comes collections. So you can find collections. I can group my quizzes just like how I can use a folder option. So to put my files together. So I can also use a collections to put there. And one more option in quizzes is that the next thing that you can find, memes. So we have all come across memes, we know, okay? So here, after each and every question, it is just to add a fun quotient to your quiz, because your students are going to attempt, they will find it very funnier to see the memes coming in between the questions. So by default, it has a random meme which will come. If you have your own meme set, you can upload them, okay? So that is also possible. So these are the options. I will quickly tell you how to create a new quiz, and we'll also attempt a quiz right now. Okay, so creating a quiz, you have options right on top in this particular bar. It says create a new quiz. I'm clicking on it. So I'm just giving a sample name over here. So I'm just giving a quiz name, and you can choose the relevant subjects. So for now, I'm just choosing computers, and I'm clicking on next. So these are the question types that are available. Whereas the other online platforms, have all these question types as a premium free feature, wherein quizzes gives it for free. So that is why we prefer quizzes. So multiple choice, choosing one correct answer from the choices, checkbox, choosing multiple options, and then you have fill in the blanks, poll, and open-ended. Open-ended question, you can give a paragraph for them to enter their answers. So multiple choice, checkbox, and fill in the blanks, you will give the answer key. Poll, we know there it doesn't have any wrong answers, so there is no key involved. Open-ended, all the answers that are given are treated as right answer, but the teacher can manually evaluate them. Okay, so this is how the scoring will happen. So let me go for the first question. So this is the first question. I'm choosing a multiple choice. So maybe I'm clicking on it. So this is where I can edit my question. So here it says question 1, and there is a space wherein I can enter my question. I can also directly change my question type over here. So from this drop down, I can change the question type. Now maybe I will type a question, or I will try to include a picture and show you how it can be inserted. So you have options to add image, you can add an audio, you can add maths equations, and also you have many other formatting options. So italics, underline, changing the color, subscript, superscript, special characters, all that can be included in your question. So for now, I'll just show you how to include an image. So I'm clicking on this add image. It is asking me to upload the image. So I'm again clicking on this plus sign. So it will ask me from where I should take a picture. I have a picture already ready. So I'm choosing it and giving open. So we'll wait for the question to come up. So maybe as you see, you can just answer the question. If you know this particular answer, you can type it in the chat box. So I can also, if I want, I can also type, some additional information in this particular place. Otherwise, I can just leave, because I think the image itself is self-explanatory. Okay. So I can right away start typing the answers. Maybe I'll check if, so there's answers that are coming up. Okay. So Mithila ma'am has already given the answer. So the right answer is 20. Okay. So I'm typing the answer options here. So you have options that I can type. So maybe, I can give the options like this. Okay. So a multiple choice answer should mandatorily have 2 options. So you can find out that delete this option is available from the 3rd, the 4th, and onwards. Okay. So for these 2 options, the delete option is not available. So the multiple choice should have 2 answers to be there. So if I don't want, I can also delete them. Okay. I can delete the option also. Okay. So now I've supplied the answer options. Now I have to tell quizzes which is the right answer. So to do that, I'll have to just tick this. Click on this. So a green tick mark is appearing. So 20 is the right answer. So I've also given the answer key. And I can also add options. Till 5 options I can add, not more than that. Okay. So it should have minimum of 2 options and a maximum of 5 options. Only that is available. Okay. You can also set your timer for each and every question. So you can change. By default, it shows 30. You can also change that. So once everything is done, I can click on save. So I click save, that particular question will appear. Okay. Now again, if I want to add the next question, I can click on new question and I can go. Maybe I'll go with the fill in the blanks. I can just click on fill in the blanks. You can type here. So for fill in the blanks, the user will have to type an answer over here. Okay. So maybe I can just put a question like, so many of you must be knowing the answer for this. So you can also type in the chat box the answer. Okay, fine. So the answer is incorrectly. Okay, so the answer has to be given by the participant. So I have to provide the answer key. So incorrectly is the only answer. Okay, there cannot be any alternative. But there will be questions wherein there will be more than one right answer, which you can give it in this alternate space. So here, irrespective of the case, so even if I give incorrectly in full capitals, or if I give I alone in capitals and remaining in small, all the answers will be taken correctly. So I need not give them as an alternative answer. So all that will be accepted. Only if it is a very different word, I will have to give it in the alternative. That's all. Then again, I can change the time. So for each and every question, depending on the complexity, I can change the time of answering that particular question. And then again, I give save. Okay, so this question will also be saved. So once if I give exit, so you can find out the 2 questions that are there, and it is prompting me for giving the next question. I'm not going for that now. So if I give exit, this particular quiz will go to a draft. So I was showing you a quiz in the draft, right? So it will be draft because the quiz is not ended. But now it is over for me. If I've typed out all the questions, I can press on this done that is being there. Okay, I'm pressing this done button. So it is asking me for the final details. If you want to add an image, you can add. Language is English. It is asking for which grade to which grade this is. So maybe I'll just put some grade. And if it is a public quiz, I can keep it as public so that others can search for my quiz. But it is for private. Okay, only me, and to whom I'm sharing the quiz, only they have to attempt it. So I'm just keeping it as a private quiz, and I'm clicking save. So you can find out the quiz is ready. It is coming up over here. Okay, so here you can find out there are 3 ways in which you can attempt the quiz. So the student can attempt the quiz in 3 ways. One is play live. That is the live quiz that I was talking about. That we will see a demo. I will explain all the settings there. Next is assign homework. This is the offline quiz that I was talking about. So if I click on assign quiz, it will ask for the date, that is the due date. So it shows dates at least for a month. So you can give them the due date. You can set the time. And there are a few other options. All these options I'll cover when I'm talking about live. So I can set the due date, and if I give continue, here you can see there is a share a link that is coming up. So if I give share a link, you can find out there is a quiz link that is coming. So just like how I shared the Mentimeter link, similarly, I can share this link also. So maybe we'll all be in a WhatsApp group, or they'll be in Google groups where you can just mail them or send them this particular link. That's all. So till that particular due date, the students can attempt that particular quiz. Okay. I can also give an end game. Okay. If I end game, the quiz cannot be attempted. Okay. It is not live now. That particular offline quiz is not, cannot be attempted if I give an end quiz. Okay. It will be done. Fine. So now let us go for a live quiz. This quiz is going to be based on the last 2 days session. So we have taken few questions from the sessions that we saw in the last 2 days. So we'll just do. So this is the quiz. So I'm going to click that and give play live. So once I give play live, I'm sorry, I had to come quickly to this menu because the questions will be revealed to you. Okay. So there was this first option called play live. So I clicked on it. This is where I came. So there are few game modes that are available. So classic mode is a 1-to-1. Okay, one student versus each and every other student in the class. Okay, that is the classic mode. Then you also have a team mode where few students can be grouped as a team, and they will be evaluated as a team. Their scoring will be evaluated as a team. You also have a test mode where there is no fun quotient attached. So there won't be any memes, nothing. So they won't be knowing the results also. So there is a you can use that for a serious evaluation. So I'm just leaving all those things for you to explore. I'll come up to the settings below. So here it is asking assign to a class. So if we have a classroom there, you can just assign, otherwise no issues. Settings, if it is unlimited attempts from the student don't require a login to play the game. Otherwise, you can also limit the number of times the students can attempt. But to do that, the students will require a login. So for now, I'm just leaving it unlimited. Name factory, if you want the students' names to be anonymous, quizzes will generate their names. Automatically it will give up some names. Anyways, I don't want that, so I'm leaving it. I don't want answers to show in-game. That is after each and every questions. If you want the correct answer to be displayed, in that case, I can change. But for now, I'm just keeping it off. At the end of the game, if I want the answers to be shown, yes, I would want to. So I'm just keeping it on. If you don't want, you can switch it off. Then you have power-ups, just like how you will have in a normal video game. You can use some power-up options wherein you can increase your scoring. So that power-ups is also available here. It is all some fun that they have added so that students will be involved to play because they're competing with their classmates. Okay. You can have the timer to be shown. Anyways, our questions have timer. So if you want the timer also to be shown for the students, you can switch this on. Show the leaderboard, of course, only then they will know where they stand. So I'm just switching it on. Shuffle the questions. So I have typed the questions in some order, but it is not the same order. It will be appearing for the students. it will be shuffled. If you want to answer shuffle the answer options also, it is possible. So A, B, C, D will appear in different orders. A, C, B, D, it will appear in different orders for each and every participant. And there is also an option for redemption question. If they have answered some question wrong, they will get one more chance at the end of the quiz to answer it right. So that is also possible. If you want to show the memes or you don't want to show, so all these settings are available. Okay, so we are done. The settings are all set. Now I'm going to give continue. Okay, now we are getting into the game. So I want all of you all to participate in this. So you can take your phones, you can attempt it through your phone, or you can open a new tab in the same window that you're watching, and you can do this. I'm also sharing the link in the Google Meet chat. So to do that, I'm just going to this share via, you can find a click, menu, option showing up over there. So you can find the quiz link coming up. I'm copying the link and I'm pasting. I've already seen players coming in. Okay. So I'm just clicking the quizzes link. Okay. So it will ask you for your name. You can type in your own name. Okay. And as and when you type the name and get inside the game, you will see your names popping up in the teacher side. So in the host side, you can find the players coming in, and the quiz will not start until I give a start in my screen. So I'm just waiting now. So I'm just wanting players to join. So I'm waiting. So in your screen, there will be nothing happening until I start the game. So we'll be real quick. Okay, so I'm starting the game now. Even after I give start, you can still participate in the game. Okay, so there are 5 questions. Each questions will have a different timer. So be very quick. We'll just finish this. Okay, I'm giving start game. Be ready. So this is the leaderboard. You can start answering. Okay, can be a little quick because we're running short of time. Okay, so a few of you have completed the quiz. Maybe I'll just give the final word on quizzes. So so you can find out that the scores are all changing. I forgot to inform that the scoring is based on the time also. So you have to be very quick in answering, and also you have to give the right answer. And also when you're continuously giving right answers, you will get bonus points. Okay, so that is how the points will be calculated. Anyways, now I'm ending the game. So once I end the game, it will show me who came first and all that. Okay, so you will get you'll get a board as to who came first, second, and third. So I really don't know. RE, sir, ma'am, I don't know. Okay, so you can also find out here. So how many of them got it right, which question they were wrong. So all the statistics will also be here. Okay, and the same will be also saved as a report. So I can anytime go and access it there. So that is with quizzes. There are many more, but you can explore it yourself. It is very interesting, and I bet your students will also enjoy it because they have enjoyed it. It is a tried and tested tool that we have done. So yes. So any questions on quizzes?
Okay, thank you, Faustina. I think there is no question.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So again, we are in the last 10 minutes of this session. So actually, we had the brain challenges brainstormed in the very first day, right? So we don't want to just leave the challenges just like that. We wanted to find out how can we overcome those challenges. And so for that, we just have a 10-minute discussion on how do we overcome those challenges actually. So let me share my presentation. I've just compiled all the points what you all gave in the first day. Okay, right. So the first thing is, there was a point that, yes, you're able to see my presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So here, the first point here is student engagement is difficult. This was the biggest challenge everyone said. So actually, as per the research, this remains the same. The difficulty remains the same, both in the case of physical classroom as well as in the online classroom. So I don't think there is no huge difference between a physical and a virtual classroom. So student engagement, if the student is really interested in the class, she will be very active in the class. So it doesn't depend on whether you're going to be virtual or you're going to be physical. So ways to improve the student engagement. So first of all, we'll have to make the students comfortable with the technology. And you can have more number of teachers in the group because everyone can help each other. And you can use the chat sessions for questions, for the doubts, and for the brainstorming and all those things. And we should not follow the same type of format, always video conference and all those things. That will be a little boring, not just for the virtual classroom. It's going to be for the physical classroom also. So you can conduct group projects. Then assignments can be reviewed by the friends. And again, when the class is going on, we wanted to bring in the attention of the student. So what we can do, we can just mute ourselves suddenly, or we can just unshare our screen. So there, sometimes the students will feel, what happened? No, she will awake. So that's, very often, when the class is going on, we can intentionally mute, we can intentionally unshare the screen. So even if the student is distracted, she will come back to our class. And you can do brainstorming. And as we did this Mentimeter, the quizzes, we can do quiz in the middle of the class. And we can also have the group discussions as we had in the meeting, creating meeting rooms, then coming back to the common room. So definitely student engagement can be more actually here in the case of a virtual classroom, because we cannot do all these Mentimeter quizzes and all in a physical classroom because the students will not be having the computer with them. But with the online class, anyway, they are going to have the technology with them. It's easy for us to engage them. So this will be better actually for us. The second is inadequate knowledge in technology. That was a challenge told. Yes, this is very new for all of us. So no one is trained in this. We are just trying and exploring. So unless and until, we had 3 days of session. And unless and until we practice it, I'm sure we'll have our own doubts. So when we practice, we become more comfortable. And then it will be very easy for us. But we need some time. We'll have to start for that. So inadequate knowledge in technology because it is new for us. That's it. So once we start practicing, we'll definitely become experienced in that. Then these are the common points. All these are very common. So I just put it together. Personal touch is missing. Difficult to understand the emotional level of students. Difficult to understand the minds of students. Difficult to control students. So all this, is it not there in the physical classroom also? No, we face the students. Students will be sitting in your class. They are physically present, mentally absent inside the classroom. Yes, the one thing is we'll be able to find out. No, she is not there mentally in the class. No, all this we can find out. But here also, we can have a personal touch because we can have effective communication with the students. No, that's what we said. So in the Google Classroom, we can just put the post. No, we can communicate with the students personally. So there is more of communication happening here because it's not restricted just to that 1 hour of class. We can have it 24/7. So difficult to control students, and I'm sure controlling students is not going to be the talk of the hour because students cannot be controlled. They are a generation, it's their students, and they are digital natives. They know much about technology than us. So we will have to equip ourselves to train them. They're not affordable by less privileged students. This is the most, this is very valid. So we'll have to find out ways to help them out. So just because few students are there who cannot afford, we cannot delay this. So this is the need of the hour. We'll have to use the technology. So how do we help these less privileged students? We'll have to think only in that way. So we'll have to find out some scholarships from funds, or some government should do something. No, all these things should happen, but only if it starts properly, all this will always come along its way. Too much of distraction when ideas are conflicting, that's really good, right? So there are too many ideas, that comes as a discussion here, more of discussion. So it's better to have a good discussion. So when there is distraction, when there are ideas are conflicting, you should be very proud. You're given the opportunity for the students to express their ideas. So they are very free to express their ideas. So there is a distraction, that's very natural. We can definitely go ahead with that. We can moderate it and we can get a better solution. So this distraction also happens in our physical classroom. When we talk about some general topic, students just get up and when they're interested in the topic, they give out many answers and all those things. So we control in the physical classroom. The same thing can also happen in an online classroom. And students just log in and leave the class. So yeah, that is possible. So how do we maintain it? So we have that calendar, the attendance, the Google attendance. So we can just take the attendance every now and then, or randomly at some time. Say for example, if the class is from 9 to 10, one day I'll take the attendance at 9:10. The other day I'll take the attendance at 9:40. The other day I'll take at 9:20. So the students will not be able to predict when I will take the attendance. That's one way. The other way, every now and then, you will have to engage the students, ask them questions. So somehow we'll have to try to manage and get the students. This is really a very difficult problem, but we'll have to work on it. And definitely once the class is, once we are comfortable with the technology, our class will become more interesting and students will not tend to leave the class. So until that time, we'll have to somehow manage to make the students sit in our class. So we'll have to engage them with interesting sessions, interesting discussions, interesting videos and all those things. And attendance management, yes, we know how to manage the attendance, right? We can use a Google Sheet for that. We can generate attendance using the attendance add-on and all those things. And technophobia among teachers, the fear about technology among teachers, because it's new to us, that's it. So once we become familiar, it will not have the fear. So now we'll have to start first. So when we start, we'll be comfortable with. Only when we use, we'll become comfortable with. So just the starting problem now. So once we start, this will be very familiar to us as we do our traditional teaching. So we need some time for that, but we should not wait for that. We'll have to first start the process. Then lack of time and time management. Okay, these were the two challenges and these are contradictory, right? So one said they don't have time to do this. Another said time management is going to be a problem. So once you manage your time properly, you will not have the lack of time. So both comes together. So we'll have to manage the time anyway, and we need much of time because we are not comfortable. Once we are familiar with this, I don't think we'll require so much of time as we do now. It will become very common to us. So till then, we'll have to spend some more time on this technology. Then the generation gap. So generation gap is not just for the online classroom, it's also for the physical classroom. So we cannot help it out. We'll have to guide the students properly. So we'll have to find out how do we go about with this. It's not just for the online classroom, it's for any type of class. That is going to be definitely a generation gap. So we'll have to understand the students. And miss out the response from students, I don't think this will be possible. Actually, I feel that this gives of more opportunity for the students to give their responses. So when you remember the chat session, the brainstorming, you're free to write your points. So, and it's very easy for us to give our points. No, we are not going to take much of time. So I feel the students are given equal opportunity here in the case of a blended learning classroom. And leads to misuse of technology by students. That's one of the challenge. And it's not because it's going to be online class. It's because they have the technology. So unless they are very sure about, even if there is no online classroom, or even if there is we are not following this online classroom. So in that case, they are going to misuse the technology. So it's not because we have the online training, right? So misuse of technology is not because of anything. It's just because of the attitude of the student. We'll have to try to sort it out. We'll have to try to guide her personally. But this online teaching learning is not going to lead the student to misuse of technology. More workload on teachers? Yes. So we'll have to prepare a video. We should know how to use the technology. We'll have to work on it. And so many things are there. There is definitely more workload. But once, again, the same thing I'm saying, once we become familiar with this, all this will change. So the problem now is it's very new to us. And for every small thing, we'll have to Google a lot to understand it. That's why we need so much of time. So once we know thoroughly what we are supposed to do, then everything will be very clear for us. Again, the same thing. Now, power failures, this, we cannot help out. But we'll have to understand mistakes are very common. Okay, so we are all human beings. Mistakes are common. It could be intentional mistakes. It could be unintentional mistakes. Just accept the mistakes. That's it. So once we are comfortable with our mistakes, we'll learn. That's it. There is nothing to feel about. If there is power failure, whatever it is, that's okay. We'll reschedule the class. That's it. We cannot do anything with this. So you can just reschedule the classes. And students' level of learning is questionable, and it's difficult for slow learners. This I will definitely disagree with, because we are going to provide the videos to the students. We are going to conduct the class for the students. We are going to provide extra material for the students. So all weak learners have the opportunity to learn, to watch the video again and again. They will better understand it. So now it becomes more of the responsibility of the student to learn, because we are providing her with all materials. So this actually brings in an inclusive learning environment where weaker students also will feel comfortable, and she will also understand the concepts better. Exams and evaluation. Actually, our examination, our evaluation system is not up to the mark. No, we just focus on rote learning. No, we ask the students some questions, the students will answer, we give them 2 for 5 or 2.5 for 5 or whatever it is. So this is a good opportunity for us to rethink on how do we evaluate the students. So we can give the students projects, assignments, open book test, all this, we can use Google Forms. We have so many assignments available in the classroom. Assignments, material, topics. There are so many things available there. Question, all this we can use it. Actually, this is an opportunity for us to rethink on how do we evaluate the students just by giving the question, asking her to write the answer. This is just an opportunity for us. We are forced to rethink on this so that it actually helps us. Then difficult for students with special needs. So actually there are so many different technologies for special needs students. But now the problem is we are not aware of it. So I am very sure slowly we will also get familiar with all those technologies. And this will have to focus upon, we'll have to help the special need students, and there are technologies available. The one thing is we'll have to Google and find out which one is better. That's it. Not environment friendly. So this we'll have to definitely disagree with, because the one thing is what we saw here is this is actually environment friendly, because I'm going to use a online. Only the technology we are using. We are not using any papers, any pens, chalk pieces. No, all this we are reducing. So this is actually more of environment friendly. The only thing is, we consume some power and we consume the technology. So we are able to compensate with the remaining. No, we are not using any papers and all those things. So we cannot say this is totally not environment friendly. And the network issues, again, yeah, we had a network issue also yesterday in the webinar. That's what I said. We cannot control certain things. Okay, it was an unintentional one. We cannot control it. And I wanted to put my appreciations on the participants, because there was so much of understanding yesterday when there was a network problem. And you all said we'll wait and all those things. That type of peer working and all those things, if it comes in, there is no problem at all. So this network issue could not have been sorted out better if there was no understanding. If the participants are saying, no, we wanted it, we cannot wait, and all those things, it would have become a big chaos. But you are very understanding. That type of the friendliness will also automatically come, because it's unintentional. So you cannot avoid it. So we'll have to overcome it. If there is a network issue, that's fine. We can move on with next, or we can postpone it, or whatever it is. We cannot do anything on this. So these are the challenges which we are discussing about that. So we'd like to just know, I would like to request the participants if there are any points which you wanted to bring up here. So any points you wanted to bring up? Fine. So I would like to conclude this because already time. So because there is a saying, best is the enemy of good. So trying to make something best, we will never actually start something. So we need not just focus on the best. Let us start, make it good, then move towards best. So we'll have to start now. So saying that, as a team, we thank you all for the opportunity. We had a wonderful experience with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Jabba, you take over.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Faustina ma'am, for your deliberation and demonstration on evaluation tools, Mentimeter, and quizzes in online platform. Thank you, Faustina ma'am, for offering a hands-on experience for the participants and keeping them active throughout. Thank you so much. Thank you, Charulata ma'am, for your effective demonstration about creating quizzes in Google Classrooms, and Jayapriya ma'am for coordinating the sessions on all the 3 days, and also for your suggestions for engaging students in online classes. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I call upon Dr. Rita Rani Mandal, Associate Professor of English, Lady Wellington Institute of Advanced Study in Education, to offer her impressions about the 3-day online faculty development program on DIGITECH for constructive teaching. Over to you, Rita ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
First and foremost, I thank the management, principal, and the organizing secretary, Dr. Alma ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to participate in 3-day FDP on DIGITECH for constructive teaching. This pandemic was both a boon and in vain for the teaching fraternity, as we could attend a lot of webinars and learn so many things. I have attended many webinars on technology, but this was the best one. This is from my bottom of my heart. One of the best FDPs on technology. It was very well paced, and I would like to thank the resource team from Stella Maris College, Dr. Charumati, Ms. Jayapriya, and Dr. Faustina for their patience in teaching us. We are all actually digital migrants. We are all above 50. I am above 50, and for me to migrate from the normal classroom to a digital classroom was very difficult. but you had lots of patience in teaching us. And I enjoyed all the sessions. I learned so many things. I knew of Google Classrooms, but I did not understand all the features of the Google Classrooms. And you taught us how to navigate in the various platforms and how to use the various tools. Thank you all the organizers. And I think this was the most resourceful session. And I had a very enriched learning experience. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Rita, ma'am.
Thank you, Rita, ma'am. The participants are open to give their feedback in this forum. Anyone who is willing to give feedback, kindly give it. Anyone who's willing to give feedback? Okay, I'm very much happy because you have given. Okay, yes, you can continue, ma'am.
Yeah, this is Dr. Evangeline. I participated in all the 3 sessions. It was really very, very good. The persons who taught us were wonderful. They got their stuff really, as Dr. Rita said, we are migrants. We crossed 50s and really we are struggling. And actually the contents which you have covered is now is going on there in the central government program, MOOCs program. The same content is there and I am doing it. And it is very, very useful. The same things are taught here. So I appreciate the teachers who taught us and the organizers who organized such a wonderful program to us. This is, as Dr. Rita said, it was really mind-blowing and it was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I appreciate and I thank every one of you who have participated here. Thanks, one and all.
Thank you, Evangeline ma'am, for your valuable feedback. And we have been getting a lot of feedbacks in the chat box. Thank you, participants. May I now invite Dr. Sister Irday Mary, Assistant Professor of English from Stella Matutina College of Education, to present a brief report about the online workshop. Over to you, Sister.
Thank you, ma'am. A very pleasant evening to everyone present. And I'm asked to present a 2-minute report of the 3 days online webinar. So it's going to be a very gist of it. A formal report would be sent to the college and could be also viewed in the college website. At the outset, I would like to thank the Lord for having given us the opportunity to participate in a 3-day national online webinar on faculty development program, which has been organized from 1st to 3rd July 2020 by Stella Matutina College of Education. The resource persons hail from the esteemed Education Institute of Stella Maris College, namely Dr. U. Jayapriya, Dean of Academic Affairs and Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science, Dr. S.P. Faustina, Assistant Professor of Department of Computer Science, and Mrs. A.R. Charlata, Assistant Professor of Computer Science. All the 3 of them are from Stella Maris College, Chennai. All the 3 shared the nuances of the online resources available to enhance the teaching learning process, starting with Google Class, how to create, implement, and its various options. Those could be utilized for submission of assignments, to post questions and to interact, and how to make use of it were shared. On the second day, the 3 professors systematically highlighted on how to create group Google or Google group, uploading audio, video, pictures, creating attendance sheet as well. On the shared information on YouTube, how to live stream it and how to create and implement Google Meet. You know, the A to Z of the knowledge was shared, which was very, very effective. And I think all the participants were enlightened on those information. On the 3rd day, Dr. Faustina began with a Mentimeter and how it could be utilized to organize quiz. And Mrs. Charlata went on to share on the various aspects of evaluation, students' engagement program of creating, organizing, implementing quiz. In all 3 days, the knowledge on every online tools, those promote meaningful and effective learning outcome, were presented through demonstration by the resource person. The participants at the end of the session eagerly participated in the quiz that was demonstrated. At the end of the session, Dr. Jayapriya, Dean of Academic Affairs and Associate Professor of Stella, Department of Computer Science, Stella Maris College of Education, shared or discussed the challenges, those that are posed when you have an online class, such as, a student could boot in and leave the classroom, or they may be disinterested and may be engaged in different activities, which could be rectified by continuous or constant monitoring, by evaluating them through questions or by quiz or giving them an online game. So those could be, and she also shared on the unavoidable challenges those could be posted, which pose as an inhibitions while you are on the online class. So these are the gist of the report of the 3 days activities. On behalf of the IQAC, Stella Matutina College of Education, I extend my gratitude towards Dr. U. Jayapriya, Dean of Academic Affairs, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science, Dr. Faustina, Assistant Professor, and Mrs. Charlata, Assistant Professor of the Department of Computer Science, Stella Maris College. SMC, the Stella Matutina College of Education, would ever remain grateful to you, dear professors, for having given us, the in-depth knowledge on, to the professors or the attendees who are participants. We are all migrants, we are all novices to this field of online. So hats off to you. Very big thanks on behalf of all of us, from the management, from the staff and students of SMCE. We are grateful to you. Thank you for all the participants. Thank you so much. Over to Jabama.
Thank you, sister, for your crisp report filled with gratitude.
Yes.
May I now kindly invite Chief Anchor of this FDP program, Dr. Mrs. Alma Juliet Pamela, the IQAC Coordinator of Stella Matutina College of Education and Organizing Secretary of the workshop, to propose the vote of thanks. Over to you, Alma, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Jabal ma'am. Our gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others. I, on behalf of the Stella Matutina College of Education and the entire participants across India here together, and on my own behalf, extend a very hearty thanks to the amazing team of Stella Maris College for gracing your honorary service and sharing with us your technical skills. What we do for ourselves dies with us. What we do for others and the world remains and is immortal, says Albert Pine. At the outset, I would like to express my profound gratitude to Mrs. Jayapriya, Dean of Academic Affairs, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science, Stella Maris College, Chennai. Ma'am, your excellent coordination with your colleagues was visible during these 3 days, especially during the technical glitch. Your skill in handling without wasting time is highly commendable. Also, your conduction of brainstorming sessions as well as group activity is simply amazing, ma'am. We never even thought about it doing it online. A big thank you to Jayapriya, ma'am. I must mention a deep sense of appreciation for Mrs. Charulata and Dr. Faustina Joan for your excellent presentation. Presentation was very clear, especially with your recap of every item at the end. Thank you for your excellent, clear coverage of Mentimeter and all other items. On the whole, your presentation was crystal clear. You are all amazing teachers. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Sister Rosie Joseph, Principal, and Dr. Philbin Kennedy, Vice Principal, Stella Maris College, who wish to offer such an excellent resources to our platform. Thank you so much for the vision to share your knowledge with us. I also thank our patron, Reverend Sister Pauline Mary, Secretary of the College, for her constant encouragement. I am also grateful to our principal, Dr. Mrs. Joseph Catherine, for her support. I would like to acknowledge my gratitude to my colleagues, especially Mrs. Carolyn Jabasurna, Sister Rudya, Mrs. Rubina, and Mrs. Annapriya for their constant support. I would like to take this opportunity to place a record to thanks to Auxilia Francina, Vani, Leela, Jayanti, Raki, Jessie, and Kartika,